My guest at this time is a former WWE Tag Team Champion, two-time Slammy Award winner. He is now the NWA National Champion and the head booker for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. It's Aron Stevens. Aron, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Thank you. And that's funny. I actually forgot all about the Slammies. Wow.
You know, I try to be prepared, Aron, and like I was talking to you before the interview. I was like, I watched all these videos. You're doing so many things. Please explain to me this tangled web. And on the way, yeah, you won a couple Slammies. That's not bad. Do you get to keep those? Are those at your house?
No. I don't like. But the thing is, even if we could, like, I don't. You know, a lot of guys when they win the titles and stuff like that, they like to keep the belt. I just that was never me. I don't even have like my Money in the Bank briefcase or anything like that. Like I'm just no. You know, they're all props. Like to me, they're not sentimental, but that's just me.
Okay. Cool. I mean, for me, if I had two Slammies, I'd run around like Owen Hart all the time. You know, but that's just me. So anyway, different strokes, different folks.
Exactly.
We do. There's so many things you're doing right now, and I'm going to try to get through as much as we can here in 20 minutes. But we were delayed here a little bit recording today because you went and got a COVID-19 test. I'd like to start right there in this moment. Why are you getting tested right now, and just how are you dealing with everything at the moment?
Well, no, you know, I think again with the world we live in, where you know, hopefully we are very close to a vaccine. We still do not have one readily available.
Right.
I just take it as a you know, personal responsibility. If I'm going to be around talent every single week, you know, with both the Primetime Live show and Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, I need to do my part, and I need to make sure I get tested every week because I don't want to put anyone else at risk. You know, I don't have a wife and kids or a family, but other people do. And, you know, especially out here, you know, with even grandparents that they come into contact with. So to me, it's just a matter of personal responsibility. I'm not one of these people like, oh, it's the government trying to, no, wear a mask because it's the right thing to do. You know, if my grandmother, my grandfather were still alive, I would want other people to wear masks in front of me so I don't give it to them.
Right.
And again, it's just basic things here, you know. To me, and I don't want to get too off subject before we even get on subject, but
talk to me. This is the biggest story in the world right now, and you're in it, and I'd love to get your take on this. So.
Yeah, like to me, obviously, like there were some mistakes made, you know, with the virus and how people dealt with it and everything. But look, nobody's perfect. And there's also, again, like I would have done things differently if I was in a position to do something on a national or global scale about it. But I mean, it ain't the bubonic plague. You know, we have the miracle of communication via telephone, internet, social media. And if you look at the response to this, I mean, this wasn't even a thing a year ago, and now we're pretty close to a vaccine, which is unprecedented.
Right.
And, you know, people were allowed to, like, okay, let's stay home. Like, we were allowed an education about it. And I don't want to get into the news because, I mean, I'm not I don't believe everything in the news, let's say, especially on, you know, social media and Yahoo and Google and all that. There's definitely clickbait headlines.
Sure. But
I also think, you know, we all need to make informed decisions, like do our own research, and just kind of go from there. You know what I mean? Like, just be cautious. Like, if everyone just tried to think about other people as opposed to buying, you know, crates of toilet paper, like, how crazy is that? Because here in California, it was like 2 weeks after the whole, you know, initial shock of it. There were signs like, we are not accepting returns on toilet paper and paper towels, you know? Oh, yeah. So it's just, I mean, how much do you really need? You know,
sure.
Stock up on water. You have that. Okay, good. And, you know, we get through it. And to me, when people were panicking, it's like, yeah, the grocery stores, they weren't fully stocked, but we never ran out of food. You know, we never, like, if you go to other countries, like I was able to go and kind of see what poverty really is, and what it truly means to be destitute. And not that we don't have that problem here in America, but on a mass scale, we still have it so good. And, you know, again, even at our worst when the virus hit, there was never a shortage of food. No one starved to death during this. We weren't eating rats like the bubonic plague.
Right.
We were able to make our own decisions. And to me, like, let's take care of our health first. And then before we turn this into a political issue and, you know, which we're not going to get into because I really wish we could understand and really kind of focus on how alike we are and how very much connected we are. Before we, oh, I'm not going to wear a mask because it's my right. Okay, but you know what? Like, there's people with grandparents who you may not want to give it to them, and just in case, who cares? That's just my opinion. So that's all. But that's why I get COVID tested every week.
Do you think that should be the standard for anybody in the business right now that's performing? Because I'm sure you've heard this past week,
Absolutely.
AEW, WWE, independent wrestlers, a whole bunch of people seem to have popped positive here in the past 2 weeks. It's been really something to see.
Absolutely. I mean, I think there's California, they offer free COVID testing. So there's really no excuse, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're going to perform, okay, you get tested every week. Is that big of a deal? Really? I mean, you swab the inside of your mouth. I haven't done the nose one yet, but, again, just take, the necessary steps to ensure, as much safety as possible.
And with you, Aron, and just to kind of put a button on this, and we can move into other more fun stuff, more lighthearted stuff. But seeing all of your friends right now in this situation and seeing some of your friends getting sick in this situation, does it give you pause for concern, continuing to perform regularly and going out to events and things like that at the moment?
No, I mean, me personally, I am not afraid of it. And I don't want to say afraid, or I'm not concerned. Again, what I do, I keep my immune system up. It was really funny, right? Like back in was it March really when this hit?
Yeah.
Where everyone's buying toilet paper, yet there was a surplus of vitamin C, of zinc, of things to kind of keep you healthy. That's so.
Sure.
I have a stockpile of that, and or at least enough to get me through a year. But so yeah, it's. I'm not going to live my life in fear of something, but I am going to be cautious, and I'm if I can not infect anyone, I'm fine. Like there was an incident where a friend of mine who I was in contact with tested positive for it. So what I did immediately, I left the gym. I was actually at the gym out here and drove right to get tested. And then I quarantined for 24 hours before I got my test results,
Sure.
And then a couple days later, took it again. So that's all. That's just, again, it's me. It's trying to do personal responsibility. And I think if everyone could just assume a little more personal responsibility, combined with common sense, it would really help things, as opposed to, I'm not going to get tested and I'm not going to wear a mask and I'm not going to do this because this is America. I mean, no, trust me, I love this country. I love America. But you know what? I also would love to keep everyone healthy in America. So I'm trying to do my part.
Sure. It's very, very well said. It's as if you are the intellectual savior for the masses or something.
As if, yes. I don't think I have the copyrights to that, but whatever.
It's parody. If anybody asks, this is parody. So yes, it's parody.
Yes.
Well, I was very excited to hear that you were stepping into the role of the booker for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I've been fairly exposed to Championship Wrestling for Hollywood for like years now. I mean, I think most notably, a lot of people got to see a little bit of the product in the David Arquette documentary. But I mean, talk to me a little bit about this. How did you get involved with the company, and how did you rise to assume the role of booker for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood? Well,
I was out of pro wrestling altogether, completely out of it.
Yeah.
A call about a year ago from Billy Corgan from the NWA.
Sure.
And I was actually in Hawaii filming a TV series, and I'm like, I really don't want to wrestle. He goes, no, just this is what we're doing. You're gonna want to be here. And I said, fine, because he was always great to me.
Okay.
When we were with Impact and everything like that. So I got on a plane, went to Atlanta, and when I got there, like they flew me in a day early, and I just looked at the set, and I just went, oh yes, okay, I get it. Like this is what you're doing it right.
Sure.
And so yeah, did that. Was good. Met, and I've known Dave Marquez for years, but we kind of we reconnected and we started talking and everything like that. And then early this year, he was like, hey, would you be interested in being a booker for Championship from Hollywood? Okay, yeah, I'll check it out. So pandemic happened, a couple months went by, obviously. And then here we are. So it was, not something, again, a year ago, because I think it was a year ago now. I was in Hawaii just filming my TV show and was happy. And now, things are different. And it's funny because, acting has all but slowed down. Only in the last 2 weeks, or maybe 3 weeks, like I've started to get auditions are starting to happen now, and you're starting to read more and stuff like that. But no, this has been keeping me busy, and it's been a lot of fun. Like I didn't realize I loved the business as much as I did. And because my approach, I've always been so lackadaisical is not the right adjective, but I worry about my stuff, like make my segment the best it can be, go out there, rock the people, and then don't care about anything else. And obviously, like I say that in the context of my segment in terms of the show, right? I mean, I'm not going to be trying to hurt anybody else on the show or anything like that, but from my contribution, whatever I have and like in the parameters I'm given, go make it the best you can and leave. And that detachment, I want to say, from the business side of things has always kind of served me well. But now that I'm on this side of it, it's given me a whole new perspective. But I've been very lucky because there's been a lot of good talent I've gotten to work with, and Dave has been so good to me in terms of just letting me do what I want. He keeps saying, "This is your show. This is your show." I'm like, well, it really isn't, but I try to involve the talent as much as I can in terms of what they would like to do, where they see their characters, where they would like to be a year, 2, 3 years from now.
Okay.
So, my goal is like, I want to sit down with everyone, and I have pretty much individually in terms of going over, okay, what do you want to do? Where do you see yourself? Like, why are you doing this? And as a booker, that gives me kind of an idea of how to use them. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And I've had a lot of conversations with wrestlers recently, more so about kind of like the WWE process and the AEW process. And it's not that. Like, a lot of wrestlers don't get that kind of attention where they get to sit down with the booker and really flush out these 1 to 3 year plans that you're describing there. I think that's a really awesome thing you're doing. Is this your first time booking? Like, what is your background here? Really?
Yeah, first time ever. I mean, and it's weird because, see, I've been very, very lucky, and I didn't realize this, in that, for years, like, I was around some of the smartest people in the business, Jim Cornette, Paul Heyman, Danny Davis, Tom Pritchard, Rip Rogers, Dutch Mantell, who's just brilliant.
For sure.
And so I don't want to I hope I don't mean to sound braggadocious, but like, I didn't realize I knew as much about the booking end of it as I did, because to me it was always common sense, only because that's the only business I was exposed to. Like, I never, because I trained at Kowalski, at 16.
Okay.
So I was always under his umbrella, and then right to OVW with Cornette, and then Paul Heyman, Al Snow, and people who have been there know what they're doing, and so I've never kind of experienced that no direction craziness or anything like that. If unless, of course, until I got to WWE. So, but
Sure.
But yeah, so I just try to make it. I try to treat talent with respect. Number one, first and foremost, because I know what I didn't like, right? And in WWE is a very big company, so you can't fault them for this. They cannot, excuse me, give every single talent individual attention. They can't.
Yeah.
They have to focus on the guys that they want to be the top guys, because whoever's the top guy there is someone that they want to be. And by they, I may mean one person or 2 or 3 people, and it's that simple. And it does work like that, regardless of fan response or anything else. But, as a wrestler, I was always like, oh, fan response wise, I'm here, and what?
Yeah, dude.
You know what? Maybe in a corporate boardroom, they didn't see it like that. Maybe they had, from the business end of things, they wanted to go with somebody for marketing purposes or whatever. So, okay, that's just that machine, and it doesn't make it right or wrong.
Yeah.
Which is why, I've never really buried them, because you know what? That is the WWE's a certain kind of machine, and I played in that sandbox, and then I didn't. Tried to make the most of my time.
Dude, you did, man.
And,
Like that's the thing. To a T, man. I hate to cut you off there, but like I'll say that on behalf of a lot of fans, we felt that pain alongside you.
Thank you.
it was tough to. I mean, dude, you were literally killing yourself doing that Miz stunt double thing. I was watching you. I don't know how many apron bumps I watched you take. I mean, that had to be brutal, man.
No, that was okay. That was fine.
That was okay. All right. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
But yeah, so again, that was that machine. And again, only so much I can do, right? So my whole thing is like, what I didn't like was how some of the people in between the top of the mountain and the talent would treat talent, and they would absolutely talk down to them. It literally was high school with grown men that were supposed to be in positions of authority. And this doesn't go to everyone. There's some very good people there. Mike Rotundo, Road Dogg, Dean Malenko, Arn Anderson, Jamie Noble, all Fit Finley, all of those people. I tell you what, great human beings. I mean, I really think the world of all of them. There were, people in the between like the office and the agents and things like that. Like they were, to me, some of the most insecure people I'd ever met. And they're your friends when the boss likes you, but then if the boss sours on you, they do. It's like I don't want to say like they're not men, but to me, they're just not. They're not very stand-up people, right? And I don't respect that. And this is nothing that I wouldn't say to their face. And I have at some point even, which maybe is why I'm not there anymore.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe I didn't get more than I get because I was always very honest, in a respectful way. But like, I can't get with someone that's not you stand by what you say. And that doesn't happen a lot. So to me, if I was going to take this position, and what I said to myself was, I am not going to be that guy. I am going to treat everyone with respect, whether they are great in the ring or not. If they want to get an attitude or kind of, do things that are not going to be conducive to making a good show, then okay, I just simply won't use them, but I'll say that to their face. But that has not been the case with anyone. I mean, I can say, and this is really cool, I've only been at this a couple months, but 100% of the people that I've dealt with in both Primetime Live and Championship from Hollywood have been amazing. They're absolutely amazing. And this goes from the announcers to talent to the camera people. And I also make sure camera people, lighting people, sound people, I'm always going out of my way to make sure they're happy, because if they ain't happy, then we ain't going to have a good show. So that's something else I try to, and I try to like relay that to the talent too, be cool with everyone. If you want to get a good camera shot, if you're cool with the camera person, you're more apt to.
That's really good advice, man. I never thought about that. That is smart, right? Went over the crew. Huh. Yeah. Man.
Because it's a team effort. Realistically, it's a team effort.
Yeah, dude. Real quick on the creative end with WWE, there was that moment there where you were like Money in the Bank champion. We all thought that maybe it was you had the briefcase, and you like lost the briefcase there. What was your reaction to finding out that you were going to be the first person to kind of like botch the cash in there with this?
Yeah, I wasn't happy about it, but I talked to a very high-ranking official, not Vince, but in the family, and pretty much said, look, we're going up against Monday Night Football and the World Series. We need this. You have 3 segments. Okay. So knew what I had to do. That like in the long term, I was frustrated, but the immediate, I had to worry about going on TV and, get the ratings up. And we did. Point blank, we did. And, to me, it was past that what they did, because you come back, everyone's hugging you, saying what a great job you did. And then, 2 weeks later, there's nothing for you. That was just like, okay, whatever. So, yeah, I was a little bit upset about it. But then, you're dressing up as someone new every week. I said, okay, you know what? If this is what I'm going to do, they usually give guys that, and guys view it as a punishment. I'm like, no, if I'm going to be Davy Crockett, you're going to give me Davy Crockett music. And this, if I'm going to be an interpretive dancer, go get me a onesie flesh-colored leotard and let's do it right.
Yeah.
so that was just the way I did. And then Mizdow happened, and you know, sometimes, man, it is what it is. But in my position, if I can not be that guy, and if I can help talent at this level not have to go through that, and the thing is, I never got a reason why, right? So to me, I'd like to tell talent, look, for right now, booking, here's where we are for the next 2 months. There's not a spot I can use for you that will make you and highlight you to the best of your ability. Can we do something like this, right? Which keeps you on TV, keeps you relevant, and then we bring you up. So to me, it's just like, you have your main angle, because I'm going to use that because bookers can talk like that, I guess.
Sure, yeah, you can do what you want. Yeah, come on.
So yeah, you have your main angle, and then you always have a strong mid card, a very strong mid card. And then, if you can have your main storyline, but then 2 to 3 other very good storylines going on, that makes for, number one, a compelling show. And number two, it gives talent more opportunity to shine.
Right.
Because when we sit there and we write the show, some people are like, oh, I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. With us, it's like, no, an hour's not enough time. Like, we were trying to fit people in because we have so many stories to tell. And that's a great, great thing. And now, like, where we're more people, I guess, want to work for us and everything. So it's like, okay, great. A surplus of talent. That's amazing. So I just try to be as, straight with them as I can, and let them know, okay, for right now, there's nothing, but next month after, whatever, let's do it. And the women's division, it's like this. I don't know if have you watched the show recently, or
a little bit. Like, again, I've been playing catch up here. Obviously, I have a million things to juggle, but yeah, I saw the beatdown of the Nick guy who was trying to eliminate the women's division and come back and all that.
Oh yeah. Like, so that whole thing, like that storyline, like where we're going with that, that's just, it's been one of the most fun things I have. I've booked so far. I'm new at the job, but like, Nico and House, they're doing such a great job. And it just makes for great TV. SoCal distancing's been great. The Eric Watts story, it's unfolding, and I think that's going to be going into some great, great places. Yeah. So I just think we have stars, and we're highlighting them as best we can. The development of Jordan Clearwater. Right. With the vignettes we shot at the MMA gym, and that's been a lot. That was a lot of fun to do too. So.
Man, that SoCal distancing, I saw them with the masks and everything, and I was like, oh, wow, he's booked like a pandemic group.
Yep, exactly. I mean, we had to. That's everything else, social distance. Okay, well, SoCal distance.
Funny. Well, one of the other things that we wanted to bring up, you are an NWA champion, national champion, another NWA champion, Thunder Rosa, man. She's on the ride of a lifetime right now. She's getting a double dip, with the NWA, with AEW now as well. Yeah. What about you, man? Like, does this, obviously Billy's got some kind of deal there with AEW where everybody seems to be playing ball. Is there any chance we could see you take that title over to Dynamite one night or something like that?
I don't think so.
Okay. No?
No one has contacted me from AEW. And I don't think, I can't foresee anyone contacting me from AEW. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, but I have my own theory on that, and it is what it is. There's plenty of other options, but I really do. I think the AEW product, they have so much potential, and I'm just so happy to have, people like Thunder Rosa to go there and highlight her talent. And I think AEW, it's providing a very good alternative, and then they're doing some great stuff.
All right, cool, man. Well, Aron, I want to thank you for allowing me to pick your brain, man. It is really cool. It sounds like you're booking with compassion for the performers, and that is quite a change of pace in the pro wrestling world right now.
I try to make it common sense. Number one, we got to make a good TV show. That's my job. But to make a good TV show, it doesn't mean you have to be a jerk to people. And realistically, if you can have a relationship with the talent and they trust you, you trust them, transparency, everyone can work together, and it's just better for morale. That's my opinion.
Yeah, dude. I agree with you 100%. I mean, is there anything else you want to leave everybody else with here today? Anything you want to plug, promote, put over maybe, perhaps?
No, just, Primetime Live. That show is getting better every single week. So definitely want to check that out. And again, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Check your local listings. If it is not available on your cable provider, you can go to Fight TV and check it out.